make your own notes or read from your friends' notes. Like, I'll tell you one thing, NCRT is enough to pass, but if you wanna improve your score, you need to read notes. Like, you can either read your own notes or read from your friends' notes, or you can read external notes as well, because notes enhance the way you frame your answers. If your answer is correct and your answer is framed properly, the examiner won't get a chance to remove marks, since your answer and the framework of your answer is correct. Like, so when I was in 12th grade, I actually did not make my own notes, but at the end of 12th grade only I started making notes with the help of a mentor. So I used to go through those notes only, and that mentor, she helped me to write my notes. But you can also read notes from external sources, need not be your own notes or your friends' notes, but it's better to read your own notes or your friends' notes, because you know them better. And there is one thing about friendship, like what friends explain you will be more easier to understand. So the fourth method is practice questions and diagrams regularly. Like, you mainly have to practice NCRT diagrams and NCRT problems, because usually questions from NCRT will most often, compulsorily, at least one question will be from, not exactly one question, but almost everything in the question paper is going to be from NCRT. So you have to practice NCRT diagrams and NCRT problems. Like, here I have told you to, I have suggested to practice the diagrams, charts and maps from NCRT, but if you want, you can also use external question books. Using external question books is much better. Actually, I would recommend that more. You can even use these questions, you can even find these questions from Google, or you can ask a senior for help. So the fifth tip is solving the previous year papers often. When you solve these previous year questions, the papers, it can help you identify the pattern of question asked. So you will get used to it, and also your exam fear will reduce significantly if you keep on solving the the previous year question papers. Like, you will actually get an idea of what questions will come, and you will put emphasis on those questions which come often in the which repeatedly comes in the previous year papers, because there is a lot of chance that the previous year papers, what questions come most of the time, they also will come in the exam. There's a high chance for that. And this is a sixth tip, which is very important. Usually children burden themselves with studies, thinking that it'll help them, thinking that the more they burden themselves, the better they'll become in the studies. Well, that is where most of the people are wrong. So the sixth tip is, you should not overburden yourself. Take short breaks while studying, because what happens when you overwork is that when you overwork, you can get brain fog and burnouts. Like, you will feel exhausted, tired, and it'll lead to burnout, which will result in you forgetting the information fast. So it's best to take short breaks. Like, maybe in this break, it's best to take some short breaks, because it helps to improve mental clarity, and it gives rest to the mind as well. So please don't repeat the mistake which I did. In this break, it is better to not watch mobile. I used to watch mobile in the break. That is where I went wrong. I'm not saying it is bad, but it's better not to do it. Instead, you can try going out for a walk, or spending time with family, or doing recreational acts like drawing, or maybe just take a small nap. I would recommend the naps more, because a recent study says that after studying, if a person falls asleep, so basically there is a study which tells about sleeping after study. Recent study, after studying, taking a short nap can help retain the information which the individual studied before napping. But please do not sleep for long times. Just take a short break and you can nap in that while, or you can do anything. But I would suggest napping. And the seventh tip is very important. You should never compare yourself with others, because comparing yourself with others will build up your stress and you will end up not doing the exam pretty well. So please never compare yourself with other. Your competition is only with yourself, not with others. So just keep this competitive mentality for competitive exams. It is understandable, but please do not do this in board exams, because you have to compare yourself with yourself only, not with the others. This is for board exam, very important. I would suggest you apply this to competitive exams as well. Well, I'm actually against comparing yourself with others. So please do not do this. This is the eighth tip. It is very important when you're writing the exam. Stay calm. You should not panic, because what happens when you panic is that it can disturb your mind and disturb your peace, and eventually it can lead to you not doing your exam well. So what you need to do is, do not panic. Just stay calm and write the exam. Like I suggest, like one of my maths teachers when I was in 12th grade, he suggested to take deep breaths and before writing the exam. Stay calm. Like always keep a water bottle next to you. Like keep a keep a transparent water bottle next to you, because most exam centers do not allow the metal water bottles. Like you need, like whenever you feel, there's a tip to stay calm in the exam. Whenever you feel worried or anxious, you take a sip of water and then take deep breaths and then write whatever you know. Because no matter how much you studied, no matter how much practice you did, but when you're not calm in the exam, it can lead to problems. So please stay calm when you write the exam. So here is the ninth tip for writing the exam. It is active recall for writing answers. So what happens? How you do active recall is, so in active recall you learn the topic and then you explain it like you're teaching it to somebody. Like you can say it is similar to blurting out. Like suppose you're studying something, you read the thing, and then you explain it as if you're explaining it to someone. This method is actually the best for English, Hindi or SST. It can be used for biology also. It can be used for any subject. The 10th key is prepare a formula chart and also write the derivations and laws whatever you study. Of course there will be formula chart in commerce and there will be many laws in arts as well. Like suppose you have to learn suppose you have to learn something which is very important. You have to write formula charts for it, and also you have to keep on writing the derivations in case you are studying maths or any commerce subject or any statistics. And the laws, anything can be laws of biology, laws of chemistry, laws of maths, laws of physics, or laws of even subjects like sociology, history, civics, economics, and one thing for sure, every core subject has laws in it. So you have to write down those laws, stick it up in a cupboard or anywhere where you can actually see it, and you should read those laws every day. And also derivations ke liye you need to, for derivations you need to write you need to write the derivation and regularly practice the derivations. And also formula charts, in case you have a formula chart, you have to stick it up and then read it every day, because mostly formula based questions can come as well. So this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope this video was helpful for you. Bye bye.